is insanely strong. Like, he's got that sort of elite grappling strength that comes from decades of throwing human bodies around.
Yeah.
There's a thing about that. Like, here is his Demetrius Johnson says, I felt it, I know. And Max Holloway just texted me, how strong is that Darce? Like, that's a sick Darce. Islam is elite.
Yeah.
He's elite when it comes to, like, strength.
With UFC 330 drawing closer, Joe Rogan has been breaking down what makes Islam Makhachev such a difficult puzzle for any opponent to solve. According to Rogan, Makhachev's incredible strength isn't just natural ability, it's the product of a lifetime spent wrestling at the highest level. Years of relentless training have shaped him into one of the most physically dominant fighters in the sport. Rogan also highlighted Islam's elite submission game, explaining that once he gets control on the mat, very few opponents have been able to escape before the fight is over.
Makhachev. Dude goes up one weight class, goes up to 170. He was the 55-pound most dominant champion ever, most title defenses at 55 ever, just dominates at 170. Like, every round. People are saying it's boring, but listen, man, it's boring if you're a casual. The fact that he was able to do it every round, it was a little frustrating because you wanted Jack to try to adjust, but he couldn't, man. Islam shut his game down right away. He low kick front leg real quick, had him limping real quick. Like, within the first round, he had hit it 3 or 4 times.
Joe Rogan also pointed to one of Islam Makhachev's most underrated weapons, his unique approach to finishing the Darce choke. Rather than relying on the traditional grip, Rogan explained that Makhachev often secures the submission by locking onto his own wrist, a subtle adjustment that can generate even greater pressure. According to Rogan, that small technical detail makes the choke far more difficult to escape, especially in awkward grappling positions, and is another example of the elite-level craftsmanship that separates Makhachev from most fighters on the ground.
The things you see about Islam, he's a very unique way of doing the Darce, is Islam grabs his own wrist like this to finish it, whereas other guys go all the way down to the bicep. And the thing about grabbing the wrist like that that's really good is you can make it a little bit tighter in a situation where you can't, like, some guys, they have too much bulk and maybe your arms are too short. You can't get the, well, like, having long arms is really important for a Darce. Like, John Jones must have a wicked Darce because you can get the arms all the way through. If they're long, then you can cinch it up. But Islam cinches it up actually by grabbing a hold of his wrist. And so it gives you extra space, and the grip that he uses is incredibly.
Islam Makhachev also revealed what he believes is the real reason his team continues to dominate at the highest level. According to the lightweight champion, their success isn't built on talent alone, it's built on discipline. He explained that the respect they've earned comes from the sacrifices they make away from the spotlight, staying focused, avoiding distractions, and committing themselves to training every single day. In Makhachev's view, that relentless lifestyle is what separates champions from everyone else.
Young kids look it for the Habib, look it for our team, you know, and we never go party, we never go somewhere, we never smoke, drink, do some bad things, you know, and that's why we have big support in our country. And I also try to show like MMA fighter, try to show like real Muslims, you know, who is not smoking, not do this all bad things.
Joe Rogan believes that success is no accident when it comes to Dagestani fighters. In his view, it's the result of a culture built around relentless wrestling, strict discipline, and years of elite-level training from an early age. Rogan argues that this environment doesn't just produce technically gifted athletes, it creates competitors with exceptional mental toughness and an unwavering work ethic, qualities that continue to set them apart on the biggest stages in mixed martial arts.
Those dudes are really rolling out there. That's how they're really living. They pray 5 times a day. They're super religious. There's no gambling. There's no drinking. There's no partying. There's just training. Just training and training with a bunch of animals. Eating together, training together, just getting after it every day. And then it's iron sharpens iron because everyone who comes out of there is killer.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, you got to be real.
Most people don't want to live that life.
Yeah, and they don't forgive the disrespect.
No.
I forget that sometimes. Like the people that are like ultra competitive.
Totally different kinds of human beings, man.
It doesn't go away.
Their drive it's like, you don't understand it. You don't live it.
Khabib Nurmagomedov shares a similar view, believing the foundation of Dagestan's success is built long before fighters ever step into a professional cage. He explains that growing up in a demanding environment develops a level of hunger, resilience, and mental toughness that can't be taught overnight. According to Khabib, talent may open the door, but it's discipline, character, and the right mindset that ultimately separate champions from everyone else.
I think it's location. Dagestan location. Last 1,000 years in Dagestan all the time was war. And that's why people is so tough. If we talk about us, like fighters, you can watch anybody who's a very good fighter from Dagestan, but they all come from poor life and they all was very hungry. For example, like Islam, myself, Makhachev, they all was very poor. They don't even have food. When you have good coaches, good system, and you have hungry, very powerful young generation, to become fighter is like you don't need to be special. You have to be hungry.
Taking that comparison even further, Joe Rogan believes Islam Makhachev has evolved into an even more complete mixed martial artist. While acknowledging Khabib Nurmagomedov's legendary dominance, Rogan argues that Makhachev's striking gives him another dimension that makes him even more dangerous. He pointed to Islam's spectacular head kick knockout of Alexander Volkanovski as proof that opponents now have to worry about far more than just his world-class grappling, making him one of the most well-rounded champions in the UFC today.
Khabib is without doubt one of the all-time greats, one of the greatest to ever do it. But the difference between Khabib and Islam is elite stand-up wise. Like Khabib was very good stand-up, but Islam knocked out Volkanovski with a head kick. You know, that's not in Khabib's repertoire. Islam is on another level. It's like one more level above. He can knock you out standing. He can knock you out on the ground. He can submit you. He can take you down. He's fucking huge for the weight class, especially 155. It's like there's so many aspects, and you're always thinking about that grappling when you're striking.
Islam Makhachev also reflected on the journey that shaped him into a champion, crediting the late Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov for laying the foundation long before UFC gold was ever within reach. Makhachev said he trusted Abdulmanap's vision from the very beginning, believing his guidance would eventually lead him to the top. The lessons he learned weren't just about fighting, they were about patience, discipline, and committing to long-term improvement. According to Makhachev, that mindset kept him focused through every obstacle and played a major role in the success he enjoys today.
My life, I did everything what he say. I listen him because I believe him. He is the guy who believed me first, you know. When I was young, when I'm not thinking about UFC belt, he told me, do same things, be patient, and one day it's coming, you know, you will be champion, you know. And I don't believe other people, I believe him, you know. I start to training more, start to spend more time in the gym. When I have some problem outside, when I have to go to fix some problem, he say, hey, go to the gym, I will do it for you. And he helped me a lot, you know, and I always say thanks God, thanks Abdulmanap to his doing for me like many.
The reigning welterweight champion also believes the strength of his team comes from the lifestyle they choose outside the cage. Inspired by Khabib Nurmagomedov's example, he avoids partying, alcohol, and the distractions that often come with success. In his view, staying disciplined and committed to clear principles doesn't just earn the respect of fans, it creates the consistency needed to remain at the highest level of the sport year after year.
Young kids look it for the Khabib, look it for our team, you know. And we never go party, we never go somewhere, we never smoke, drink, do some bad things, you know. And that's why we have big support in our country. And I also try to show like MMA fighter, try to show like real Muslims, you know, who is not smoking, not do this all bad.
Daniel Cormier also shared a memorable story from the time he trained alongside Islam Makhachev, revealing just how overwhelming his physical strength really is. Cormier admitted that when they first started grappling, he expected to move Makhachev around without much difficulty. Instead, he found himself struggling against an opponent who barely gave up an inch. As the rounds became more intense, Cormier had to increase his effort just to keep up, while Makhachev remained composed and technically flawless. That experience, Cormier said, gave him a first-hand understanding of why so many elite fighters find Islam almost impossible to control once the grappling exchanges begin.
Moments where we're in practice and I'm going with Khabib or Islam and I'm the big guy. So generally, a smaller guy gets on top of you. When you decide it's over, you just throw him off you. No technique, no skills. You just literally grab him and you kind of throw him off you. I'm grappling with Islam once and I try to throw him off of me, but he's still there. and I give him a little harder shove, and he's still there. Next thing you know, I'm grappling at 100% because the dude's that strong. But again, I had never really grappled with him in that way, like at a decent pace. So I didn't recognize the strength when he was trying to keep me down.
Belal Muhammad believes Islam Makhachev has done far more than simply follow in Khabib Nurmagomedov's footsteps. He has continued the legacy by proving himself against the very best in the sport. According to Muhammad, Makhachev has repeatedly defeated elite opponents without showing any noticeable decline, demonstrating the consistency that separates great champions from the rest. In his view, Islam has earned his place among the UFC's elite by delivering at the highest level every time he's been tested.
He ties Anderson for the longest winning streak. He's the 11th double champ. I mean, he's right now in the greatest of all time discussion, right?
Yeah, 100%, right? Like, for a guy like Islam to continue Khabib's legacy. Everybody thought Khabib could be this. Everybody thought Khabib would be there. Now Islam's doing it. He's continuing it. He's going with it. He's so good. He's a good human being. So you can't be mad at it. You have to give him his props. He's been dominating everyone recently. And yeah, I think he's definitely one of the best.
Henry Cejudo believes Islam Makhachev's accomplishments have elevated him into a rare category of champions. He argued that Makhachev's success across multiple weight classes combined with his growing list of title defenses gives him a resume that continues to strengthen with every victory. At the same time, Cejudo pointed out that Khabib Nurmagomedov's unique wrestling style would have created a fascinating challenge even for Makhachev. Interestingly, that's a view Makhachev himself has openly acknowledged, showing the immense respect he still has for his former mentor and teammate.
Legacy greater than Khabib's legacy.
Yes. Just out of pure merit, 100%. Title defense is a two weight division thing, but it's ironic, bro. If they were to fight, Khabib would beat him.
and the crazy
said it, and he said it himself. Like, dude, if I was to fight the dude, he'd beat me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's all hypothetical, right?
Kamaru Usman took a broader view of the debate, arguing that greatness can be measured in different ways. He believes Khabib Nurmagomedov's influence on the sport and the legacy he left behind remain truly unique. At the same time, Usman says the fighter sitting at the top of the mountain today is Islam Makhachev. While acknowledging that comparing champions from different eras is never straightforward, he considers Makhachev one of the most complete and dangerous athletes currently competing in mixed martial arts.
Yeah, all hypothetical. But for me, I don't know if I could answer that because what Khabib was able to do for the sport and for the Muslim. I mean, obviously there were Muslims in the sport before Khabib, but what he was able to do as far as putting out on his back, I think was remarkable. So and then the way Khabib was disposing of his guys. So it was, man, it's tough to say, but I do think Islam Makhachev is right now is up.
Usman also explained why he believes Islam Makhachev is so difficult to deal with once the cage door closes. He described Makhachev as one of the most complete fighters in the sport, capable of applying relentless pressure without giving his opponents a moment to settle. According to Usman, Islam's ability to control every phase of the fight gradually forces opponents into uncomfortable situations where their options become more limited with every passing minute. That's the kind of suffocating style, he believes, that has made Makhachev one of the toughest challenges in mixed martial arts today.
To glaze in any way, form, or fashion, but I say it's the most competitive because when I look at a guy like Islam, I don't really see holes like that, and that's something that scares me, that causes that heartbeat to go up, and that's where you see some of the most spectacular performances. Because the last time I felt that like that was Kobe Covington won. And that's when I was like, yo, you got a guy that can wrestle just as good as you, a guy that can grapple just as good, a guy that can maybe not strike it, but a guy that can strike just as well. You have a guy that's good at all these things. How do you get that victory? And that's where you live. That's where you get that your spirit just is in there to just fight it out. And so I would say yes, if you're talking about which fight right now is probably the most competitive. And listen, Islam is...
Looking ahead to UFC 330, Michael Costa believes Islam Makhachev remains the clear favorite to leave with the belt. In his view, the biggest obstacle for any challenger is overcoming Makhachev's elite wrestling and suffocating grappling, areas where very few fighters have been able to compete. Costa added that if Islam continues stacking dominant title defenses against the world's best, his resume could eventually place place him in the middle of the greatest of all time conversation.
Because I don't see, I'll just give you my prediction right now. I think that Islam Makhachev beats Ian Machado Gary, and I just don't know. I don't see a world where Carlos Prates beats Islam Makhachev. I don't see a world where there's really any. Honestly, the only guy I really thought that could have gave Islam an interesting fight was Sean Brady because of the wrestling and the grappling. And obviously, he's kind of fallen back down the ladder, and Michael Morales is waiting in the wings. But it really all just depends on how long Islam wants to stick around, But I definitely think he wins this one. You could definitely put him in the talks for greatest of all time. But if he sticks around and wins another 2 fights on top of that, I mean, you've surpassed the Eagle. You've surpassed Habib and everything that he's done. You've surpassed Anderson Silva, the George St. Pierre's, Demetrius Johnsons, the Hall of Famers. Like, I think that there's a world where we start talking about Islam Makhachev being the best of all time over John Jones.
This fight for Islam Makhachev may be a lot harder than what people think. Given all of the accolades that Islam Makhachev has, it's easy to just dismiss Ian Gary and say, listen, he's got to just run right through him. Okay, you could send him to Dagestan or Georgia for 20 years and still forget all about it.
Send him 2-3 years Dagestan and forget.
Okay, because Islam Makhachev is the GOAT. He's going to take him down. The man's Irish. They don't wrestle in Ireland, for crying out loud. Well, guess what? He's a well-rounded mixed martial artist. He's 17-1. He had a very, very close fight with Shavkat Rakhmonov. Ended the fight threatening the rear naked choke. He beat the former champion Bilal Muhammad that wrestled the life out of Leon Edwards. Okay, so this is a real fight. Before you start to think that this is just going to be one-way traffic, I'm telling you, this is going to be a lot tougher than what you think.
As UFC 330 gets closer, the debate only continues to grow. Do you think Islam Makhachev will add another dominant title defense to his legacy? Or is this finally the fight where someone stops his incredible run? Share your prediction in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest UFC news, fight breakdowns, and MMA updates.